interaction with community, and a lot of people were very happy with the results that some of you have got. But what they were curious to understand is the story and journey behind. So I'll be asking you a few questions, and feel free to share your experiences. Uh, so Rahul, tell us, first of all, introduce yourself. We would want to know you a little in detail.
Well, okay. My name is Rahul Ojha, and I'm 33 years old, married with a kid. I have been working with Nokia for past 6 years, and overall, I have an experience of over 11 years into risk advisory domain and internal audit. So with Nokia, I was working into their global internal audit function, and I got aware about this JJ school surfing. So it was that I wanted to change the job because it's been long tenure with Nokia and I was not getting next level of growth. I was
Mm,
getting growth in monetary terms, whatever the average yearly thing is, but somewhere the next level was not coming up.
mm,
Where you get more, get into more of a managerial aspect. I was leading the team on a project basis, but there was no direct reports. So all those things were there. I was looking for a progression a bit, and during that course, I got aware about you and JJ School of Employability,
mm.
and therefore I connected with you. So that's been a little bit about me and how I got associated with you.
So before you were associated with me, I mean, in that period for almost how long you were searching for an opportunity, and what was the scenario then when you were searching before us? I mean, I was not there in picture, no JJ school, no Jogesh, and what was the situation like? You were searching for a job, how long, and what was the result?
Well, the thought was there since 2018
Okay.
because simultaneously I was pursuing my ACCA and I was left with my last paper and I wanted to complete that and then change my job.
Mm,
And I completed that in June 2019. So in 2018, I was looking very casually about the things and I appeared for my paper in June, and the result came out in July, and that's when I started looking very aggressively. But when I was looking without being associated with you, the mindset was okay. I have been working here for 6 years. चलो थोड़ा पैसा नहीं बढ़ा तो क्या हुआ? I'm in my comfort. I have proved myself. I have established myself
mm,
so that was becoming a barrier a bit
mm,
because of contentment, but at the
right.
same time there was a thought that I need to move uh, into next make a next progression, so it was a conflicting mind.
Mm,
Secondly, what was happening was the thought was market में job नहीं है. Third thought was market में job तो है but senior position पे नहीं है. The fourth thought was even if I get a senior position पे तो पैसे कम बढ़ते हैं.
mm,
Standard 30% है तो I might not be able to get that 30%. Might be if I make a move, so I might just get 15-20%. And
mm,
then again the conflicting mind was starting. यार 15-20% हाइक के लिए मैं अपना कंफर्ट जोन छोड़ूं क्या?
mm,
So it was a vicious circle. But once I got associated with you, it changed my thought process.
mm,
You know, I rigorously started following that 90 days. I'm not following now. After getting into that means the objective is reached, so I stopped it, which should not happen.
Mm.
but that's the bad aspect. But when I got associated, I started following that. My target was to update my resume, update my LinkedIn profile. I got it reviewed with you as well. I got it reviewed through my other mentors, colleagues, and refined it. And then the second thing was, whenever I was applying, my spectrum was huge: risk advisory, internal
Mm.
audit. So I could be into governance, I could get into risk advisory, internal audit, in forensic, anything. So whenever I was applying, I was trying to tweak a bit, not 100% of the CV, but the summary aspect, 20% I used to tweak it and make it in line with the job profile as per your suggestion. So those things started coming in, and very religiously I was following whatever was there in that training,
Mm.
and whatever was coming in the community, your thoughts. And also there was, I don't remember who shared on the community, but there was a 60-pager questionnaire around employability.
Yes.
I read it multiple times.
Mm.
I read it multiple times, I would say more than 50 times.
Right.
Because those are the standard questions about which I was not aware of how to answer, or I was answering it in my own way.
Mm.
But that gave me a base
Yes.
to answer it, to portray that I am the best and you should hire me. I do not have any negativity.
Mm.
That was the summary of that book.
Mm.
And that all those things were conditioning my mind. And during this course, I got 5 to 6 opportunities from good companies: Infosys, Accenture, Rio Tinto, Capgemini, and I don't know, 5 or 6 were there. Yeah, and one of these cement companies, I'm forgetting, Raymond Group cement companies,
Yeah.
Singhania Group cement companies. So, and my initial when I gave my first interview, telephonic, after a 6 years of time, I was not able to give that helicopter view that you were
Mm.
talking about. So all these companies started, and the guidance that you give, the helicopter view, I
Mm.
wrote my summary in 2 to 3 lines.
Mm.
And then when the things were coming, anyone was giving me a call, even because these line managers, when they get free at 9 in the night or 9:30 in the night, they used to give a call.
Mm.
I saw your profile on LinkedIn, and do you have a time? And you are not prepared every time, right? But this helicopter view suggestion of yours enabled me to write those 2 3 liners, and I was prepared 24/7.
Mm.
So it was ingrained in my mind that even just when I woke up and if anyone is giving me a call, I used to say yes.
Mm.
And yes, and then I used to summarize that profile in 2 to 3 lines in 2 3 seconds.
Very good.
That was creating an impact. I felt that.
Mm.
So it was moving the next level. Yes, obviously, some companies had their own budget constraint. So
Mm.
next thing what I learned was, earlier budget I was never thinking,
Mm.
and I was going till the end, and then negotiation was happening and my efforts were getting wasted.
Mm.
So whenever I was getting a call, I prepared my so step one was preparing the resume and LinkedIn. Step two was apply as many as you can in a day by making tweaks in
What
line with the job profile.
What was your average?
Average was around 10 on a daily basis. I was finding that. I was rigorously finding that after getting associated with
And
you.
how much time you were spending in applying to those 10 opportunities?
Almost 4 hours.
Mm.
Almost 4 hours I was
But
applying.
I understand that you're also working.
Yes,
So how you used to manage to get the time?
I reduced my sleep hours.
Mm. You chartered accountants are very passionate. I can see that. Good, good.
Yeah, because the thing was, there was an objective that I need to get a job
Yeah,
before 2019. So I got associated with you somewhere around June and July.
July. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I completed the entire curriculum in July, August scenario time frame. I updated my resume by September and LinkedIn profile by September. It was step by step.
Yeah.
Before that, I was not. Once I was prepared, meantime, I got my first call where I was not able to present myself, summarize myself, everything.
Hmm.
Then in September, I prepared that two, three liners,
Helicopter view.
practice helicopter view, practice that a bit. And October, November was the time frame when I was applying
Applying.
aggressively
Hmm.
uh, to achieve it within December.
True.
Uh,
So help me understand. You talked about journal, okay, and you said I started following it rigorously. How many days did you complete out of 90, or did you complete all of them?
how many days I complete? Sorry,
Yeah.
in 90 days. So I achieved my target before that, before 90. So I stopped
That
it.
that is the reason I say that you follow these journal for 90 days and you will land into these opportunities if you apply rigorously and stay consistent. And I'm really happy that you were able to apply. What was that one thing which helped you a lot in journal, especially?
I would say consistency. So the content of the journal that you have mentioned is nothing rocket science, right?
Right.
It's simple.
Yes.
It's just that you have to apply that simplicity on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
So the methodology that you need to do it daily was the key thing.
True. 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 Very good. And out of these opportunities that you got, what was the source of these opportunities?
So most of it were from LinkedIn,
Hmm.
and couple of them came through Naukri through because the recruiters were referring to the Naukri and then they were reaching. But
Right.
if I talk in terms of percentage, 70% was LinkedIn.
LinkedIn only. And how was your journey with your SSI and how it helped you to get these opportunities? So what
Yes.
was your SSI earlier? What was your perspective towards LinkedIn earlier?
So I was not aware about this SSI thing. LinkedIn, I thought that okay, it is normal, like Facebook. It's social. LinkedIn, it is more of a professional.
Hmm.
But the entire theory that employability is happening through LinkedIn, I got aware only when I got associated with you.
Hmm.
My SSI prior to getting associated with you was in 20s, 30s. I don't remember exactly. But maximum it went when I was doing very regressively was up to 73. Now it is again down because I'm not that regular, but it went till 73. And along with this journal thing, along with applying it consistently, I tried to be consistent on LinkedIn, sending connections, engaging through insights,
Yes.
trying to reach out to people as you suggested.
Hmm.
I was not getting response in most of them,
Hmm.
but even when I got 20% of the response, it motivated me, and I was engaging with them, and I made two, three very good connections who exchanged my number, and now we talk a bit on WhatsApp. So that's again good, and they are quite senior people. So if I remember, my connections were in around 300, and in 2 months' time, it went beyond 1,000.
Hmm.
So 700 connections. Out of that, if I talk, two, three are such connections where now I have one-to-one relationship as well.
Good. See, again, coming back, the networking is the key in LinkedIn. And if you genuinely connect with people who are on in your industry, in your network, it helps you a lot. Uh, Out of these people who got connected with you, 600, 700, any of them were able to help you land into those opportunities, or it were recruiters who directly connected?
So the thing was, I was never asking them about anything
Uh,
because you had mentioned that. So I was never asking about anything. I was making my content reach them.
mm,
So in one case, what has happened was, and that case was with Accenture. No, rather two case. One case Accenture. One case is a firm in Bombay, MBG firm. The partner of that firm reached out to me, and we had a meeting. He's from Bombay. He was looking for someone who can take care of North India for him, and he pinged me if we can meet. Uh, that day I was in Noida and he was in Gurgaon. I said I am in Noida. Said, can you meet me in CP, which is central, because my hotel is there. I said yes, why not? And then I went and met him, and I have a very good relationship with him now. Though I declined what he was offering uh, because that was not what I needed.
Mm,
But the thing was, he was impressed because many people whom he reached out through LinkedIn, they started questioning why, who are you, and all those things.
mm.
And he said, मैंने तो तुक्का मारा कि सीपी में मिल लोगे क्या, and तू आ गया. He was really impressed, and so that's one thing. Another thing was Accenture, where the head of internal audit reached out to me, uh, and when I had a discussion, I got aware he reached out because he was looking at my contents that I was sharing.
Oh, very
Though
good.
that opportunity was for Bangalore, and I was not comfortable with that relocation, he again sent my resume to his another colleague. He also called me and he understood the things. But again, his opportunity was around in governance thing was again in Bangalore,
Mm,
uh, which again I did not consider at that point of time. And in the journey, again, the thing was like initially I was little rigid that I will not relocate. But things when started coming from different location, I made myself open a bit. Okay, kya hua? Let's relocate to at least these major cities. But fortunately, I got again in Gurgaon also.
right. So let's talk about uh, you know the breakthroughs. If you were to really think through that in this journey, in the previous version of Rahul and the current version of Rahul, what are the top three things that has changed in your perspective, in your mindset, which has played the key role in getting these opportunities? What
See,
has changed? What has shifted actually?
the very first thing is the mindset ki रिज्यूम भेज देते हैं, अपॉर्चुनिटी आएगी कि नहीं आएगी, दैट माइंडसेट हैज चेंज. नाउ आई
Right.
एम कॉन्फिडेंट, एक जगह मेरे को मिल गया है, एंड आई एम कॉन्फिडेंट दैट दिस इज द अप्रोच दैट आई नीड टू फॉलो. मेरे को दूसरा भी मिलेगा, तीसरा भी मिलेगा. So that has completely changed.
You've got a proper framework.
I got the proper framework. That's the most thing. And secondly, it's a process that you need to follow to achieve a goal. Goal is job change करना है, और उस job change करने का ये process है. So whenever that goal needs to be achieved, I need to go back and follow the same process. I might not be following right now because I've got one or दूसरे काम है, so this is not that important right now for me. But I got that process. ये step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. I need to start again to achieve my next job change goal.
Mm,
So that thing
yeah.
is something that I have learned, which was not there existing earlier. It was like reference दे दो यार, ये कर दो यार, kind
Mm,
of lethargic attitude, passive to active approach, I would say.
passive to active. That's the right way to put it. Uh, Tell us about your experiences in the interviews that you used to give. So when you normally go for an interview, you go with a mindset, you go with some of the preparation and all of it. Uh, did you find any change
Yes.
after going through the curriculum in answering your questions? And what were the specific things that helped you in answering those questions and positioning yourself in a better
Yes. So first thing, earlier it used to be पैसा कितना देंगे
way?
was my mindset.
Right.
That mindset changed to I am the best,
Mm,
or these are the skill sets that I have and these are the skill sets that they need. I
mm,
need to congruent those things, what they need with what I have, in a way that they cannot think beyond me.
mm,
And then paisa.
mm,
So step one became step two, step two became step one. So that was the thing that I did it. So when and this changed my entire mindset. So and that enabled me to make that my helicopter view,
yeah.
put, portray it very nicely.
Mm.
So if anyone used to tell me about yourself, so I used to give my total experience in my current job. This percentage is what I do this thing, this percentage is what I do this thing, this percentage is what I do this thing. Thirdly, this is your requirement and this is what I have been doing in my current role, and hence I am best fitted for what you need.
Right. And what
So
was the
that,
previous answer, like before the helicopter view?
so before मतलब मैं ये भी कर लेता हूँ वो भी कर लेता हूँ, so too much verbulous instead of stepwise approach. तो खुद ही लॉस्ट हो जाते थे कि क्या बताया क्या नहीं बता पाया. So
Right.
what used to happen is people used to cut me. Okay, Rahul, you have told me this thing.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
what's,
Yes.
and when I started doing this helicopter view, they got, in 2-3 seconds complete thing out of it. So their question started to change.
Right. So what type of questions were they asking when you changed your helicopter view?
So then this immediately asked me about my CTC, and I used to ask them about what their budget is. So if it was a misfit, they used to say sorry, and I used to say no problem.
So were you comfortable asking for budget,
Yes,
or
I was.
you had some, अरे मैं कैसे budget पूछ लूं and all those things?
That was the thing that I learned from you. I was very straight. I think it was EXL where they said I cannot tell you the budget. I said, but this is a position that you have opened and you would have some budget. And if you cannot tell me a budget, then sorry, I don't think we can go ahead.
And
So
out of
I became a little aggressive
is it
early. Yeah, because I knew that this is what I have. And if they want me, they need to tell me what their budget is, and I need to decide whether that budget is fit for me or not.
mm,
So that decision making, so I was making them put in a position where uh, they need to tell me more about what they have behind the scene. And this kind of approach only came because I got associated with you, and I'm really thankful to you, Jay. Really thankful to
that's my pleasure. And I think this is the perspective that we need to change in people who are looking for a job. That what, yes, you need a job, but at the same time, even they need you.
you.
Right?
Yes.
It's a win-win approach. It's not only one way. Now, help me understand. When you used to ask them what is your budget, what used to be their reaction? I mean, did you did you observe any pattern in their behavior कि यार अचानक से ऐसे कैसे पूछ रहा है or something of that sort?
I think I don't know if India is matured to that extent or not. I felt that India is not matured to asking that question,
Hmm.
and they kind of went on a back foot a bit. Some
Hmm.
of them then they disclosed a kind of range. Some of them said they cannot, and if they cannot, then I said sorry. And if they disclosed a range, and then I used to disclose that this is my CTC.
Hmm.
Uh, it's either or your maximum is where I'm standing right now. Will you be able to take me forward considering what I will be bringing the value in you?
Yeah.
Then they used to say, okay, I will discuss internally and get back, whatever.
Right. Right. And tell us about the time when you called me and shared, Jugesh, you know I've given 4 or 5 interviews, and the budget is something which is coming on the way. And then what did we do?
So that was something that was a lifetime experience with the company. They took 5 rounds and no one was discussing the budget.
Right.
uh, and I was really liking that to a point where they were judging me.
Mm.
And it was a 1 month period. I mean, within that, with one company, I was giving my interview for a 1 month period, and by then I had given 3 different interviews with 3 different companies.
Mm.
You know, so they were trying to assess the candidate. What I felt, and that interviews happened with the person, the local person, the person in Montreal, the person in Singapore. Again, after taking, they are taking jointly. And in the last interview that what happened, I asked them, how long will this continue? Because I was getting another offer. So I made it clear, and they said we will continue until we hire the best. We want the best. And then my interviews were going very well. And that is what I was saying, that I am the best. And finally it happened. But after this all 5 rounds of technical, no one had discussed money with you, and I was now getting worried. What is this? Means it's. But one thing that was playing in my mind was, if I have made that effort, those people at senior level have made equal efforts, and that thought came only with being associated with you. So
Mm,
if I have given 5 hours, they have also given 5 hours collectively as a company, and 3 4 individuals individually 1 hours, and as senior people.
right.
And then the HR round happened. But prior to that, I had reached out to you,
Yeah.
and the best advice that you gave me was, listen them, don't open up, and say, allow me a time, I'll get back to you.
Yes.
But when I went there, they were so aggressive. They said that we want to discuss everything in this call.
Mm,
And I discussed openly, and then I clearly said that, okay, this is something which is little shorter. I'm not saying hugely shorter of my expectation, but little shorter of my expectation. You can discuss internally and let me know.
mm,
And then says, no, this is what we have to finally do. We cannot discuss. Even if we discuss, this is what it will be. And I remained consistent.
mm.
Still, thank you. Still, as a company, you are a big company, and this much will now, a shorter high additional incremental amount will not matter. Just go ahead, have internal discussion, and let me know.
Mm,
And then in the same day, in the evening, they came back and increased another 2% and said, this is maximum, we cannot go. And then I said, okay, thank you. But before that, I was discussing with one of my mentors, and he said, Rahul, you have to be flexible and think in this term. If you are in a company, say you are in a Nokia, and if you are going in a company which is bigger than Nokia, then you may even have to get a lesser hike and go there, because they are giving you that infrastructure. But if you are going in a company which is lower than Nokia, then you have more, demanding power, because the value that you bring to them will be enormous. So
yeah.
that was also playing, and this company where I'm going is a little bigger, if not equally little bigger. So even if they gave just 2% additional, I stopped there, because they had done their good
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
So it would have been, uh, might be I would have lost it if I would have been more aggressive. But the good thing was, before being associated with you, I wouldn't have bargained even for that 2%.
True.
So that 2% is not a big amount, but that is a win for me. Okay, the JJ School of Employability methodology worked for me to
Yeah.
get that out.
True. 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 So it's been a long journey, especially, when you're searching for a job and you have to have patience, you have to be consistent with your action, you have to take uh, deeper insights into, uh, you know, uh, understanding the nitty-gritties and concepts. So what is your message to people at who are at your, stage where you were earlier, you know, where you were 3 months, 6 months ago? What is your message to them? What is it that you want to tell them?
So two things, they have to take a stepwise approach, and in taking that stepwise approach, they need to be consistent. So the stepwise approach for me was first updating the resume, then updating the LinkedIn, preparing the helicopter view, making my mind conditioned to an extent that at any point of time I am able to deliver that helicopter view, and then aggressively reaching out to people on LinkedIn. It should not be that I aggressively reach out to people on LinkedIn, whereas my profile is not updated. So there is a step. If people follow that step, only step two should only come after when the step one is completed. And in following this, they need to be consistent. So that's the thing.
Thank you so much, Rahul. You shared, your journey in a very beautiful way, in a very systematic way. I'm sure this journey is just the beginning. There are, other achievements also on the way, especially one with a parallel hustle that you're doing. Uh, and it's just the beginning. And even there, probably if you need any support, this community stands for you. And I'm always there, just a message away or just a meeting away. And let us make this job search, or probably having a side hustle, a moment with a lot of professionals who are aspiring for a job. Because I know when you are operating from the previous scarcity mindset, it is not going to help. And what we need is a shift to a new mindset, new perspective, new action, new tools, new techniques, which will enable us to get new opportunities. Right. So all the very
Exactly.
best, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, JJ. And yeah, it's really nice association with you. And it's just a beginning of this association, I would say. uh, I will definitely keep reaching out to you because I consider you as my mentor. And also, with the new venture that I have started, there are many thoughts that I have taken from your videos, which we are trying to apply over here. Many good thoughts. The vision thought that you have on your website. There are a few things that inspired me, and I'm trying to build that up. And on that aspect also, I'll keep on reaching out to you.
Sure, sure, sure.
Thank you very much.